Hi there. Thank you so much for watching this week's video message. Let's talk a little bit about executive function. This past winter, I had published two different blog posts on executive function skills. One really to help, actually, both posts were written to help families to give them tools and tips and strategies when they're thinking about how to help their children at home, including some books. The nice thing about these blog posts, besides the tips being there, is that there's always a handout. And a lot of my more recent blog posts on the Literacy Nest do include a free handout. Now, why do I do that? I do that because, sure, you might want to share the blog link, maybe in an email or something like that. But I find that it's really nice to have a printable version that has concise information, really the salient points that we want to hit in the content of the blog post in a way that can be passed on to someone else, perhaps as a handout, maybe at a conference, something like that. So for the post on executive function, the download looks like this. And it's actually, how many pages? It's actually 4 pages long. So this is a free download. So when you go to the blog post, and I'll put the link to this video in it, you'll find that this handout is ready to go. You just click on it, download it, print it out. So this is sort of, think of this like a printable version of the blog post. So it's called Executive Function Ideas to Help Your Kids by Age. And I think it's really important to distinguish that what we do with kids to help their executive function skills is going to vary greatly depending on their age and their stage of development. For instance, with our preschoolers, this is like really prime time to start developing their executive function skills. We want to make things very play-based. We will also want to be modeling. And a lot of things that look like executive function development in the preschool years is going to address things like their self-care, like learning how to get dressed, learning how to put on a coat and use that zipper, learning how to maybe follow 1 to 2 step directions and holding that information and remembering it. When you say that to a child, like, okay, put this toy away and take this out instead, can they follow those 2-part directions? Also, learning all about self-regulation. So what it's going to look like in the preschool years is going to look a lot of different, obviously, in the elementary school years and beyond. So what the handout is trying to do is sort of outline that and the things that you can do. Now, this is really, really helpful, once again, for parents, but could also be great for classroom teachers when you're talking about executive function skills with them. When you turn the page, you'll notice it moves on to elementary school students. And so talking about helping with homework, visual checklists, things like that, setting careful routines with kids, helping break tasks down into smaller manageable parts. We all benefit from that, right? So we can feel regulated. Then for your older students, so things like organizational systems and encouraging metacognition skills, using the maybe some assistive technology, some learning how to note take using bulleted points, color coding folders, things like that. And then finally, the last page, which I really love and find is so useful, is the book list. Now, what we've done is break down some books in here. These are going to be for adults. But if you go on the literacynest.com, you'll see I actually have a follow-up blog post to this that lists some books for children. So I think that your school-age children really will benefit from reading some of those books, or you reading it to them to help them really develop that metacognitive thinking. in there. And so, but this book list is really more for caregivers, parents, family, so our families and our classroom teachers and so forth. Some of the books that you may be thinking about, Everyday Executive Functions is one. Another one that I think has always been fascinating to me, it's kind of been around for a while, is Executive Skills and Reading Comprehension, the linkages between the two and how having strength in executive skills can aid in reading comprehension. Okay, that was by that was by Kelly Cartwright. A little wobbly there. And then, of course, we know that our working memory is really closely intertwined with our executive function skills. And so having knowledge base about what working memory is and learning and how we can help our students in the classroom, I think this is another great book you may want to pick up. This one, I'll put right there, Susan Gathercole and Tracy Packiam Alloway. All right. So that is it. So once again, Literacy Nest always has sort of like this concise little handout that summarizes just the main points of the blog posts. And I really hope you get a chance to check out that post, take a look at the handout, perhaps see if there's someone who would really benefit from having this. Maybe it's something, once again, you could pass out at a conference or at a meeting or something. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you found it useful. Once again, Literacy Nest has a YouTube channel. Would love it if you could follow. And of course, you can always find all of my videos on the Literacy Nest Video Vault. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.